The story begins on a quiet beach where two sisters, Nick and Kate, have come to relax, fish, and enjoy the day. After some time, Nick comes out of the water and notices a wound on Kate's hand, as if someone had hit her. When she asks what happened, Kate stays silent. Nick already suspects it was her husband, who has been abusing her, but chooses not to interfere. She decides to let it go and heads home. At home, Nick finds her younger sister on the phone. A few moments later, Kate receives a message from her husband and quickly leaves. When Nick follows, she finds Gray, Kate's husband, sitting with scratches all over his face. Seeing this, she demands to know where her sister is. Gray, looking regretful, says, "I shouldn't have done this. I'm sorry, but she forced me." Confused and worried, Nick rushes to her sister's room, only to find Kate lying dead. The sight leaves her shattered. Kate was the only one who truly understood her, and now she's gone. Soon, the police arrive and arrest Gray for the murder. Unable to bear the pain, Nick leaves town. To escape her grief, she travels to Bangladesh, hoping the change of place will help her heal. But even there, her sister's memories haunt her. She barely sleeps and often finds herself lost in flashbacks of their happy times together. 9 months later, we see Nick with two of her friends, planning a trip to the sea so she can relax and clear her mind. The group sets off far from the shore. Everything seems calm, and they feel safe knowing they can return easily if needed. While sailing, one of her friends notices Nick looking anxious and asks if she's okay. Nick brushes it off, saying she's fine, even though she still feels uneasy. After a while, the group decides to go fishing, but Nick says she'll stay by the water instead. When everyone leaves, she tries to dive in, but suddenly feels dizzy and disoriented. Panicking, she quickly climbs back up. Looking around, she spots a child swimming near a distant shore. Through her binoculars, she sees a flock of birds circling above, and then something massive moving under the water. Unsure what it is, she begins to panic. Feeling something brush against the boat from beneath, she immediately calls her friends back up. But Jody dives down to investigate. She looks around but finds nothing, so they all return to their boats and start heading toward the shore. Nick and Jody lead the way, while Lisa and Anna follow behind. Anna starts to fall back a little. She's been feeling uneasy since they arrived, and fear is written all over her face. As she looks around, her paddle slips into the water and begins to drift away. Reaching to grab it, she disturbs the surface, hearing strange sounds below. Then she sees it, the tail of a great white shark gliding nearby. Terrified, she loses her balance and flips her boat, screaming for help. Hearing this, Lisa turns around and sees Anna struggling in the water. She rushes to help, but the shark circles closer. Their screams attract it even more. Anna manages to climb back onto her overturned boat, but Lisa is now too far away. As she tries to swim back, the shark strikes, dragging her under and killing her instantly. Anna watches helplessly, horrified by what she's just seen. Moments later, Nick looks around and realizes her friends are missing. She rows back and finds only Anna floating nearby. Together, they search for Lisa, hoping she's still underwater. But then they see the water turning red. The truth hits them hard. Lisa is gone. Jody, heartbroken after losing her best friend, begins to panic. But there's no time to grieve. They have to reach the shore. The problem is, the water around them is filled with blood, drawing even more sharks. They first need to flip Anna's boat upright, but she's too terrified to get back into the water. So Nick dives in herself, straightens the boat, and helps Anna climb on. Anna keeps staring at the water, refusing to believe her friend is gone. Nick tries to distract her and says, "Look, there are two kids playing in the water. We have to save them and get them out before the sharks reach them." Jody heads out alone to rescue the children. One of them, John, is swimming in the water, while his friend Alicia sits on a small wooden plank, frightened and calling for help. Jody paddles quickly toward them, but when she looks back, she spots a massive shark following right behind her. Heart racing, she pushes harder, trying to reach the children in time. For a brief moment, the shark disappears from sight, but then she realizes it's no longer after her. It's heading straight for John. Alicia sees the danger and screams for John to hurry toward the shore. Hearing her in time, John manages to swim to safety and run straight to his mother. But Alicia is still stranded on the plank, frozen with fear. Moments later, everything falls silent. The sea grows still, as if nothing had happened. Then suddenly, the clever shark smashes through the plank, splitting it in half. Alicia is thrown into the water, giving the predator its chance. As she falls in, the shark grabs her in its jaws. Alicia is too young and terrified to fight back. Just then, Jody arrives at the scene, forcing the shark to retreat. She quickly pulls Alicia out of the water and brings her to shore, saving her life. A short while later, Nick and Anna arrive, but Alicia's legs are bleeding heavily. She might not survive without help. Nick asks John's mother how they ended up in such an isolated area. She explains that her family came here for vacation, but her husband and his friend went camping 2 days ago and haven't returned since. She leads them to a small boat that could take them to a nearby island to seek help. Though it's far from shore, Nick and Jody manage to bring it close enough to board. Before they leave, John's mother gives Nick a knife for protection. The three women, Nick, Jody, and Anna, set out to sea. During the journey, tension rises. Nick confronts Anna, saying that after Kate's death, she felt abandoned and had to take care of herself alone. She accuses Anna of never being there for her. Anna tries to calm her down, but their argument is interrupted when they notice water flooding the boat. The engine suddenly dies, and despite trying, it won't restart. As they panic, the boat begins drifting on its own. Then, in the distance, they see birds circling overhead, just before a shark lunges out of the water and drags Anna down. Nick screams her name and dives after her. Moments later, Anna surfaces, shaken but alive. Nick helps her back into the boat. Anna apologizes tearfully for leaving her alone before, and Nick promises she won't lose another sister. Together, they start scooping the water out of the boat and continue rowing with paddles. But soon, the same shark reappears, the one that killed their friend Lisa. "We can't keep running," Anna says. "It will never stop. We have to kill it." Jody argues. "Do you even realize how big it is?" Before they can plan, the water below starts to rise and churn, signaling not one, but many sharks closing in. Nick realizes the danger. "We don't have weapons," she says desperately. But Jody quickly comes up with an idea. "We'll tie the fish we caught to the anchor. When the sharks go for the bait, the anchor will hook into their mouths." They set the trap, and it works. The sharks attack the bait, and the anchor snags one of them. However, since the anchor rope is tied to their own boat, it starts dragging them with it. At the last second, they manage to cut the rope and free themselves. They release their backup boat, hoping to reach the island, but the danger isn't over. The shark, now injured and enraged, charges after them even faster. They paddle for their lives, but the furious creature slams into the boat again, this time throwing Jody into the water. As multiple sharks approach, Nick steers the boat closer and pulls Jody up just in time. Though injured, she's alive. Then Nick spots a fishing net on board and comes up with another plan, to trap the sharks once and for all. Soon, one of the sharks approaches. The three women get ready and throw the net. It works. They manage to trap the shark, but Anna accidentally gets tangled in it too, dragged underwater with the creature. Without hesitation, Nick grabs the knife and dives in after her. The net is a mess, twisting around both of them. She starts to panic, but then visions of her late sister Kate flash through her mind. Remembering her words, Nick steadies herself. She won't lose another sister. With newfound strength, she repeatedly stabs the shark. The water turns red as the trapped predator thrashes in pain but can't escape. Nick keeps fighting until the shark finally goes still. She frees Anna, who's unconscious, and pulls her to the surface. Anna eventually regains consciousness, and together with Jody, they row toward the island. At last, they reach the shore and find help. Time passes, and Alicia, now healed and walking again, greets them warmly. The three friends visit a small spot where they've placed a stone with Kate and Lisa's names engraved on it. They place their group photo beside it and whisper, "We'll always remember you both." And with that, this emotional tale of survival comes to an end. So that's it. Hope you enjoy the story. Subscribe and press the bell icon for more videos.